King Solomon loved many foreign women in addition to Pharaoh's daughter: Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite women from the nations that the Lord has told the Israelites about. Do not intermarry with them, and they must not intermarry with you, because they will turn you away from me to their gods. Solomon was deeply attached to these women and loved them. He had 700 wives who were princesses and 300 concubines, and they turned his heart away from the Lord. When Solomon was old, his wives seduced him to follow other gods. He was not completely devoted to Yahweh his God as his father David had been. Solomon followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, Milcom, the detestable idol of the Amorites. Solomon did what was evil in the Lord's sight, and unlike his father David, he did not completely follow Yahweh. At that time, Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the detestable idol of Moab, and for Milcom, the detestable idol of the Ammonites, on the hill across from Jerusalem. He did the same for all his foreign wives, who were burning incense and offering sacrifices to their gods. The Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from Yahweh, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. He had commanded him about this so that he would not follow other gods, but Solomon did not do what the Lord had commanded. Then the Lord said to Solomon, "Since you have done this, and did not keep my covenant and my statutes which I have commanded you, I will tear the kingdom away from you and give it to your servant. However, I will not do it during your lifetime because of your father David. I will tear it out of your son's hand. Yet I will not tear the entire kingdom away from him. I will give one tribe to your son because of my servant David and because of Jerusalem that I choose." Solomon was a king of Israel, succeeding his father David. After taking his place on the throne, God gave Solomon the chance to ask him for anything. In humility, he asked for the wisdom to rule over God's people justly. God was so pleased with Solomon's request that he gave him not only more wisdom than anyone in Solomon's lifetime, but also a vast amount of wealth and honor. God had only one request: that you walk in my ways and keep my commands. 1 Kings 3:14. Solomon did many great things during his 40-year reign. However, he chose to abandon God's instruction and use the gifts God had given him for his own agenda and selfish desires. Solomon ignored God's command not to intermarry with surrounding nations. This is not an indictment on interracial relationships, because God plainly states his reason for his edict. He said it is because they will turn your heart away to follow their gods in 1 Kings 11:2. This is exactly what happened in Solomon's life. Despite all the wisdom he was given, he gave in to the worldly influences around him. This brought him to a place where he was extremely far from the God he once humbly and fully depended upon. I don't think anyone wakes up and says, "Today I'm going to completely wreck my life and ignore all the wisdom God has offered me." Our lives can slowly unravel when we forget to carefully guard our hearts. See Proverbs 4:23. And when we carelessly choose who we want to develop close friendships with, we must realize that those we allow to be close to us will affect our minds as well as our souls. They can either usher us into a deeper relationship with God, or they can lead us astray and deceive us.